willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Blast Off with Light. Today, well, we're going to be making a flower-powered killing machine. And we're going to avoid any of those support creepers. They're jerks, particularly when they team up on you. So, let's actually sleep. Probably should have started the episode in the morning. Come on! Well, while it's waiting to be nighttime, yes, flower-powered killing machine. Now, you could probably already guess what we're going to be killing with said flowers, but you might not. I did offer several options for what might have been our next farm. But in the meantime, there are a few things we need to make. So we're going to need to make a couple of more runes. So, okay, so we split the runes of air. Okay, so air, and this is autumn. And then 2 mana diamonds. That's right, we are starting up our runes of basically the runes of sin. We've got the 7 deadly sins here. I believe the one we're making right now is sloth. We are also going to need to make a rune of lust. And there's that. Is our hat off? Our hat is off. Book. And pow! Really? Are you not on there enough? Pow! There we go. So we've got 2 runes of sloth. Now to make the runes of lust. Pow, 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 pow. And there we go on that one. Now this setup is working really quite well. We're at almost half a pool there, almost half a pool on both of these, and this one's empty. So that means our setup over here has stopped. So I'm going to do something about that. I'm going to put in an override switch such that it turns off this filtering mechanism. There we go. So now all of the charcoal that gets made is going to be thrown through here and will be turned into mana. I don't really need the stock. Okay, so this is good to go. Really? No. Pow! There we go. There are runes of lust. We only need 1 of each. But then we need this, these, this, and that. Actually, in here, it's been a while since we used the Petal Apothecary. So we need to put this lava somewhere. There's as good a place as any. So we put the water in such. Let's double check our recipe for the vinculotus. We also need the redstone root. Oh, we got the redstone root. Good. And we will need a seed of some sort. And we don't really seem to have any good seeds over here. So we'll head to the other side. I know we've got seeds over here. Because we've got melons oh plenty. Okay, so lust, sloth, water, green, purple, black, and redstone should give us vinculotus. Ba-ba! Now, if you don't know what one of these does, you'll get to see relatively shortly. But that's not the only thing we need. Over here, we've got some rails, some iron, and then all we have to do is add a touch of redstone. Ba-bow! And we've got ourselves a conveyor belt. So between these two things, we've got most of the workings of our killing chamber. I cleared this out and set up the thickened glass walls here. If you haven't used this thickened glass before, it's really good pre-smeltery glass, because it doesn't break when you break it, which is quite a nice feature for the early game. Now these conveyor belts, you just look in the direction you want it to go, and it slowly moves things in that direction. It's not as amazing as the MFR conveyor belts, but it gets the job done. It can move pretty much any type of entity, so items and mobs alike. There we go. So we've got our conveyance system. We've got our dirt for where our flour is going to go. So we should probably seal this up, at least a bit. Because if you don't know what this Vinculotus does, it takes Endermen who teleport in the nearby vicinity and attracts them to it. So once day breaks, all of the Endermen that are on the surface get teleported in here to be slaughtered. It's pretty cool. So we put our diamond spike here, we put our Vinculotus there, and we close off that part. They teleport on the inside of this. It might be possible for them to teleport on top of the Vinculotus, but they'll walk off and then end up in the spikes eventually. We're leaving this open such that everything that goes in there can be sucked out by our hat, and such that the XP comes out as well. They don't have any ranged attacks, there aren't any tiny versions of them, so this is at least relatively safe, and we should not have our hat on in here. Here you go. Oh, and we picked up a big old pile of the stuff too. There you go. So the Endermen will be teleported into here. They will ride the rails and die on the spike. Once we've got a lucky contestant that gives us an Ender Pearl, we'll be able to make a vacuum hopper, which I'm fairly certain does not have enough range to attract the coal, that will pick up all of the stuff and the XP. And my goal is to turn most, if not all of this, into open blocks tanks. Tank. This one right here. So I'll need quite a bit of obsidian and some glass panes, but glass panes are easy. To turn most, if not all of this, into a tank that I can then fill with liquid XP. I can just put a shower head and a lever and just go boop and gain as many levels as I need. This might not be the permanent residence of this. If I can find an Enderman spawner, I might make something like this nearby it, but this flower does require mana. And, well, that means you need to generate it somewhere nearby. This should be close enough to power it, and if not, the one directly above it should be close enough. So let's go up to the surface and see if we can see any Endermen, and if we can make them teleport, they will get caught in our snare. Oh, right. It's not nighttime yet. Move along, son. Let's see, what else has been going on? I have not finalized a design for the slime farm or the landscaping that I want to do over there. Let's see, we have not quite finished the quest for the seasonal runes. We just made a rune of autumn for one of our runes, but we still need the rune of winter. So while we're waiting for nighttime, let's take a look at what that requires. Or actually, what requires it, because there's no reason to just make the rune. So if we click here and hit U. Okay, so Rod of the Terra Firma, I have very little interest in. Snowflake Pendant. That sounds interesting, but maybe, maybe not. Mana Lens Gravity. I don't have much interest in that. Spectralus. Profiting off hate. That could be fun. And it makes the Rune of Gluttony, Rune of Wrath, and the Rune of Envy. So we could check on the uses of those. The Munch Dew. Jump, jump, jump. Ah, the Kekimuris. We still can't make cakes yet, though. The Lunium is kind of cool, though. So we would need the Rune of Winter for both of these. So that might be interesting. So it seems that the rune will mostly be used for flowers. Let's look up the Spectralus. It's Spectranthium. Maybe it's generating. Spectralus. Fond of various tones of wool. Oh. That seems incredibly complicated. Particularly given our abundant lack of sheep. Yeah. That's probably not going to be the best plan for us. Okay, the sun is now down, but we still have no mobs. This is incredibly strange. There's a zombie villager at that. But if we can see an Enderman, we can shoot at him and it'll make him teleport. Now, this is not the most efficient way of getting ender pearls, I know. But we need a couple to make a better way. Now, I have to assume there's either a stronghold somewhere, or just a random end portal, or some sort of like end cake to be able to get to the end to do the various ender things. You seem to be doing more particles than usual. That guy seems to be in quite a hurry. Now normally there's more Endermen than this. So, plans for the future. Definitely want to make the farms because of the Galgadorian stuff. I know there's been a change to it, at least slightly, in one of the updates, but I am still a little skittish about updating because of the experience I had in 1.2.4. 1.2.6 is the current stable release, and they've got up through 1.3, I think, in what they've been working on. So, yeah. It's not instilling a lot of confidence in me that any of the builds are particularly stable at this point, or what Karma Charger really envisioned. So I'm going to wait on those and just play the game how it is for a while. Of all the times for there to not be any mobs, the one time I actually want there to be mobs. The Botania stuff is coming along very nicely, but I could use some technological advancements to help increase the production. So having a reliable way of getting more diamonds, reliable ways of getting more iron would be very nice. So we'll need to work on that going forward. Botania has a few ways of its own of doing those sorts of things. but I'm not 100% sure on how to automate them just yet. Because the orchid will take stone and turn it into ore for the cost of quite a lot of mana. Well, I can make a lot of mana. The problem is making smooth stone and placing it in the world. That can sometimes be a bit tricky. Really? No Enderman at all? Well, it turns out this is going to be a rather talky episode because nothing wants to be what I want it to be. I would really love to show off that fancy new farm, but if there's not going to be any Endermen, there's nothing to show. I mean, I suppose I could run out there and just try to find one, look at him, and run back. That seems like a bad plan. Tons of creepers. I mean, if I were looking for gunpowder, this would be a grand day. Grand day. But alas, I'm looking for Endermen. So while we wait, let's check out the quest book one more time. Now for flowers, hydrangeas, thermal lilies, and rosa arcana. Let's see about those. We'll stand up here. Keep half an eye out for those guys. And come into our book. So, hydrangeas. Just take petals. We could totally make that this episode if we wanted. Thermal lilies. Take pixie dust, which unfortunately takes mana pearls, which take ender pearls, which means we need an enderman. The other runes are okay. I think I ran out of the runes of earth, but they're not hard to make. Well, the coal is mildly annoying because you can only get it from the spires. And it has to be real coal, which is a shame. Still no enderman. Cadre of skeletons. I mean, maybe if I kill some of the zombies, we'll get more mobs. But we've never really had a problem with the mob cap before. Also, let's check that Rosa Arcana. Boom, boom. So, generating flora, Rosa Arcana, petals, and Rune of Mana. Rune of Mana is another mana pearl. So, again, my operations are at a bit of a standstill until we can get us some Endermen. Let's see if there is Ender Cake. Does not look like it from that. Since we've got Ender IO in here, there are a lot of Ender things. So if you know how we get to the... Oh, there, Ender Pie. That's not what I'm looking for. So if you know how to get to the end... oh, there's one. Let's see if we can aim well enough to get him to teleport before daybreak. Oh, hypothermia is setting in. And I put down my bucket of lava, that's why. Now once the sun rises, he will likely teleport on his own. But I would kind of like... Hey, did he already teleport? Let's go see. It's hard to know whether or not they teleport or they despawn. given the lack of anything in here, he despawned. What a jerk. So, before the episode is over, I would like to tell you about next week. My wife and I are going to visit some of her family out west, and that means no recording. But that doesn't mean you won't get any recordings from me. I've been doing double duty this week, recording some extra things for y'all. And actually, it's such that I can start up a new series that doesn't take prep time. I love doing this particular show. I know most of you are here for my modded series. So I will keep doing this, but it takes quite a bit of prep time. So it gets to be very difficult to keep a reliable recording schedule. If I had something else that takes no prep time, like the MHC takes no prep time, then I could release videos consistently and be able to put in the time to make these blast-off episodes worthwhile. If I had more time, I would have cut and found an Enderman and then come back when it was ready to be dead, but I just don't have the time at the moment. But if I've got a nice, quick episode that I can put together for a particular day, I can spend more time that day prepping these blast-off episodes. So it's actually going to be something non-Minecraft, because I would like to play something a little bit different. So over the next week, I'm going to be airing probably 5. I haven't nailed it down to exactly 5, but it'll probably be 5 episodes introducing 5 different games that I would be interested in playing. And then all you have to do is leave a like on the introduction video of the game you'd like to see me play. If you like all of them, leave a like on all of them. If there's only one, leave just the one. And they will be games off of Steam and generally slightly lesser known games. So it's not going to be Darkest Dungeon, it's not going to be Binding of Isaac, but they should be fun, they should be interesting. I have a feeling you'll enjoy. I'd say, knowing you guys, any one of you will like at least 2 out of the 5. Quite a few of you will like all of them. And of course, there's someone among you that only likes Minecraft and only likes modded Minecraft. And that's good too. And you can feel free to skip those videos. I won't be offended. So keep an eye out for that introductory video coming up in probably a couple of days. I will keep making the blast off because I love it, you love it. But having the extra series will help make these episodes slightly less thrown together. It'll give me more prep time, which means better projects, better results, and more entertainment for you, the people. Because, well, we just passed 200 subscribers. We might be at 210 or 212 by now, but it's really variable. But that's a big old number. I was not expecting such a big number. You guys are awesome. So I will keep trying to do my best for y'all, and if you've got any games that you would love to see me play, you can feel free to leave a comment here or on my intro to Lytebringr, which will be coming up soon, and I will certainly consider them. The main reason I'm not doing Binding of Isaac or Darkest Dungeon or I Am Bread or like Cities Skyline is because there are plenty of people that are doing those, and those people are plenty more entertaining than me. So I would kind of like to go for some games that are not quite as obvious. So that's enough for this episode. I've talked quite a bit and found no Enderman. So I will see you in the next episode of Blast Off with Light.